Now, from obsessive hand washing to unusual compulsions, what's it really like to live with OCD?
My hands, they used to bleed, like, at school, and people were like, what is wrong with your hands? And, like, I couldn't tell them.
I used to be really embarrassed about it, and I used to try and keep it secret because I didn't want people to think I was crazy.
Have you ever touched wood for good luck or avoided stepping on a crack? Well, imagine if stepping on that caused a panic attack, or if you truly believed something terrible would happen if you didn't knock on wood. That's kind of what it's like to have obsessive-compulsive disorder.
I've always thought of it as like, just in case. Like, I'll check the door multiple times even though I know it's locked, and then I'll get to the, top, and my brain will go, did you lock the door? And I'm like, yes. And it goes, are you sure? And I'm like, ugh. So you gotta go back.
People go, oh, I'm so OCD, but they don't realise, like, they're not obsessive over it just if they want something clean. Like, I used to wash my hands about 30 times a day.
OCD is an anxiety that causes irrational obsessive thoughts that people feel they can get rid of by going through certain rituals or compulsions.
If I don't follow through on a behaviour, it's kind of like sitting for an exam, I guess. It's the same feeling I get when I'm about to pass or fail something, and I get anxious.
Germs, I suppose, was where it all started. A lot of people with OCD get worried about germs and they start washing their hands. And from hand washing to light switches, turning them on and off, and it would drive you nuts. It really would. It would drive you nuts.
Damien Leith has struggled with OCD since he was a kid, where he would wash his hands 100 times a day. As the Australian Idol winner got older, he became so embarrassed about his habits that they developed into more mental that were easier to hide.
You could go out the front door, come back, and before you know you've just done it 3 times. It's kind of a mental, it's like a mental note that goes, okay, well, I did it 3 times, I want to get that up to 5,
It used to take me hours to do the washing up. I couldn't touch the tablets because they had caustic soap in them. So then I was convinced I was going to poison my family.
When she was in her late teens, Mickey's OCD got so bad that she irrationally believed her obsessive thoughts could harm her loved ones.
I was convinced that I was a murderer. If I bumped somebody, I was convinced I'd killed them. And that's when my contamination fears came in. I'd wake up terrified because I couldn't even leave my room without convincing myself that I had harmed someone.
The 20-year-old would go through litres of soap and showered for hours each day. By the time she was in her late teens, Mickey's thoughts were so bad couldn't go to school, even though she didn't feel safe at home.
They'd catch me in the hallway, at 3 in the morning, and I was opening and closing cupboards. And I had to keep doing it until the thought came out of my head. And the whole time I knew how irrational I was being, but it just controls you so much that to stop yourself, it's just terrifying.
It's among the top 10 of all medical disorders in terms of disability. So it accounts for a lot of unemployment in our community and certainly a lot of distress and disability.
3 in every 100 people will develop OCD at some stage in their life. There's no cure, but the disorder can be treated effectively enough that sufferers can lead a pretty normal life.
With a psychological approach, we're asked to face their fears. We call that exposure, where people actually have to touch something that they deem as contaminated and then deal with that anxiety. And there's a lot of evidence backing that as an effective treatment.
Yeah, it's been really hard, and I think I only realise how hard it is when I think about it. But I have a full-time job and I have really great friends, and I guess it makes you realise how strong you are.
I was getting involved in music and the arts, just really focused my thoughts on something very specific and completely distracted me.
I check my cupboard for murderers, which is really ridiculous that a murderer would just be sitting there hiding. Like, they're just so silly, so I try and laugh at them. Because I don't know any other way to... That's how I deal with most of my issues, is just try and laugh and talk about it on stage.
I've really tried in the phrase. I'm so OCD is like a throwaway term, because now that I've gotten to know someone who does have OCD, I have a whole new appreciation for how debilitating it is. And it's not something you can control. And I realise I don't think until you spend time with someone and see those daily rituals and, you know, understand what's going through their mind, you can appreciate just how it limits what, you know, your approach to life.
I mean, I've been now for quite a few years, and it's been really inspiring to see how he's dealt with it, and really interesting. I think he's like opened a little door into his own life, been really honest with his OCD on stage. I think he's helped a lot of people understand it.
What impact has him doing it on stage had for him?
I mean, I wouldn't want to answer for him, but I think it's helped. I think he kind of feels like it's less of a dirty secret, if you know what I mean. And I can only imagine it's a bird, a little bit of a bird. He still lives with it. I'm not sure it's ever going to go away.
He's explained how it's
And it's, when he talks about it, it's so incredibly funny. I mean, it's his language, but it is. It's brilliant. He's just an absolute champion.